And good morning and welcome to Lewes Rugby. My name is Jo. I'm the Minis and Juniors Chair and the Under-9s head coach, and this is Crispin, who's one of our Under-9s players, and my son. So, welcome back to the latest in our Minis live stream. Usual format, we're going to do a quick warm-up, take you through some handling activities, a defensive drill, and then we'll finish up with some passing, and we'll throw in some of our Six Nations quiz questions to get us going. So actually a very simple warm-up today. Those of you who've been following people like Joe Wicks will be familiar with most of these activities. So we're just going to start, Crispin, by just jogging up and down on the spot, basically, just getting our feet moving. Lots of our other warm-up activities we've started with, on our feet, on our tippy toes. It's because when we're running and we're moving forward in rugby, we want to be ready for those changes of pace. So keeping those feet light, keeping those feet going is great. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to spread our feet wide, not too wide, so just over hip width apart, and we're going to go into some squats. So not too wide, Crispin. So we're just going to do some basic squats. Again, this is helping us get into our really low body position. So you're going to keep your knees over your toes, back straight as we go into those squats. So try and do about 20 squats if you're doing this at home. If you're following along later on, keep going with those squats. So try and count down to about 20. And really think about where you're placing your body. So, yeah, you need to keep as low as you can, and keep your back straight. Because again, when we playing rugby, when we go into our low tackling position, when we go into our tower power, we really need to build on the strength through our legs. Next one, we're going to do some walking lunges. So Crispin, ready for some walking lunges? I think Crispin is going to play this a bit like the Ministry of Silly Walks. So we're going to do some nice low lunges. Back down. Again. Getting into that low body position, getting our thighs warmed up as well. Excellent. And we're just going to do some kicks as well, so to get our hips moving, to get our hip flexors moving. So hips up, so swing those legs up, try and keep the legs straight, try and keep the back straight, and then turn and swing through. And if you fancy doing a bit of kicking, it's also good to do just a couple of wide hips. That just opens up your hips here as well. Excellent. And then finally, just a little bit on our upper body. Let's do some nice twists. So we've got our upper body nice and warmed up as well. So first of our Six Nations questions today. Who is the top scorer so far in the Six Nations? So the person has either kicked or scored the most points in Six Nations so far. That currently, and I don't think this is going to change, is Irish player Johnny Sexton, who is currently topping the leaderboard with 65, a massive 65 points in the tournament so far. Not even closely followed by Owen Farrell, who is second place with 50 points. Okay, so our next drill or activity is going to be a passing activity and a movement activity, because we like to, once we've warmed our bodies up, keep moving. So Crispin and I are going to go and find our balls at the end of our mark here. And you'll see that we've created a bit of space here as well. We've put some cones out. If you're doing this in your living room, you can put some objects on the floor, or you could imagine a pass, because we're going to zigzag through this pass, but Crispin and I are going to add a little twist at the end where we're going to try and do a long pass to each other at the end of our run. So it's a bit about passing, a bit about movement, and a bit about timing as well. So you ready, Crispin? Right, go. So we're moving in and out of the cones with a pass, back on our mark. Of course, the more space you have, the longer you can make the run up. Oh, and one more go for luck. Yep. So the zigzagging just again helps our movement. Excellent job. Right, we're going to remove the middle two cones now from our square, and we're going to work a little bit on our attack and defence. So, Crispin, are you going to start as the attacker or defender?
Kind of.
Right, so Crispin's going to start as the defender. I am going to start as the attacker. So Crispin, as the defender, is going to start within the square. So he's going to start within the square. I'm going to start on one of the corner cones. And if you're doing this inside, you can just choose a part of your, of wherever, your living room, your kitchen, bedroom, wherever you're doing this at home. So the object of this game, or the purpose of this game, is for me to try and score on one of the other cones without Crispin defending or making that tackle. So I'm going to start. He's a lot better at this, I have to say, than I am. So I'm going to start. I'm going to go. Oh! So he's made a successful tackle there. So he now gets the ball. I'm now the defender. So Crispin can aim for any of these other cones. Here, right, okay. So Crispin's using really good footwork to move around me. So let's try one more time. So he can go to any of the cones. Oh, perhaps slightly out of touch there. Of course, one thing you can do as a defender as well, it's not just about making the tackle, but also closing down space for the defender. Okay, so second Six Nations question. England lost yesterday to Ireland, but they did score 2 tries in the second half. Who scored those tries? Those tries were scored by Ben Youngs and Johnny May, but still not enough to fight back against a very strong Ireland team. Okay, and we're almost now at our third and final activity. So we've done our warm-up, we've done some zigzag movement and passing, and now we're going to do an activity which helps us a bit with our timing of our passes. So we call this through the gate. So our gate is the space between our 2 cones at the top here. So again, it'd be the top of your living room or your kitchen or bedroom or in your garden. Find your starting point, agree what your starting point is. So we'll walk through it first of all. So we're going to move here, so around the outside of the cones. We're going to come around the outside, through the middle, and Crispin's going to time his pass to me and time a pass back. So the point about this when you're doing it at speed is timing the pass, the backwards pass. That is the really key thing here, because you're working with your partner to go through the gate, but what you want to do is get that timing of the pass so you're not making a forward pass. Okay, Crispin, are you ready? Okay, let's do it at speed, let's run. Okay, through the gate. Lovely, so nice quick pass from Crispin there. And Crispin, I'll start with the ball this time. So you can swap whoever starts with the ball. So Crispin, are you ready? Okay, let's try one more time. So through the gate, we're timing the pass. So he's not ahead of me. And I float the pass across to him. Excellent. So, final Six Nations question before we come to the end of today's session. And that is what was the final score in that very exciting and dramatic France-Wales game yesterday. So very good, great game, fantastic to watch. Final score was France 32, Wales 30. And that does bring us to the end of our session today. This is actually going to be our second to last session. We'll do one more because after that we'll be back here training, all things being well, back here at Lewes Rugby with the minis and the juniors. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's a goodbye from me and a goodbye from Crispin. Thank you very much.